Hi everybody, my name is Shannon. Welcome to my channel, Another Yarn. Thank you so much for joining me today. I greatly appreciate it. We made it through another week. How exciting is that? I know a lot of people are like, ooh, it's Monday, it's boring, it's drab, I gotta go to work. I know, me too. But I do set this day aside to go over all of the things that I was able to get accomplished, work on, dreaming up, because let's face it, sometimes that's part of the project, over the last week. And I'm thrilled. Through a lot of motivation and encouragement from everybody who's watching my channel, I have a finished project. That kind of makes it sound like I don't finish anything ever. It's not the case. I just have a lot of very large projects going right now. I don't have the little instant gratification minis, you know, like doing a hat. Okay, a hat isn't necessarily an instant gratification, but it's a whole lot closer than some of the sweaters and the shawls I'm working on. So in that aspect, yeah, kind of is. So I got something done, and you probably already saw it. I don't know. I am working on sweaters. I call it my Magnificent Seven, and I was able to finish one this week. It is my brown tweeted sweater, dubbed the kitchen sink, you know, the kitchen sweater. And the reason I've dubbed it that, look at the beautiful colors. Look at that chocolate brown with the mustard flecks in there, the little bit of green avocado flecks and the rust. That is like a 70s kitchen. And it is so cozy and so comfortable and warm. And I was able to get 3/4 sleeves with the yarn that I had. I seem to remember at the time I just had the 4 skeins of yarn and it was just going to be however big it was. And I think that's why originally the top was so short. This, if you're wondering, this was in my vintage collection. And what I mean by my vintage collection are projects that are 3+ years old. This is at least 6. This was at least 6, and now it is done. And knowing that I just had those 4 skeins of yarn, I think I really shorted the waist right here, or, you know, from the waist all the way down to the hemline. And no, I am a grandma, and I am not wearing a belly shirt. So I ripped out that, and I ripped out the waist shaping because I did some serious waist shaping. I mean, all the way down, way past where the hips are supposed to be kind of waist shaping. I'm like, yeah, should I have stopped sooner? So ripped all that out, up to where the waist should have been, put in some gentle waist shaping, not like that. It didn't need to be like that. It was like that. And then made it about that much longer because it needed that much longer. And that is why I ended up with my beautiful 3/4 inch sleeves. Love this. Gotta finish project. And then, you know, this is so cozy, so comfortable, just like a snuggly hug. It is form-fitting on me, does accent the curves, and hubby likes it. I do too. And then I was thinking, you know what? I could church this up. I could dress this up even more. I mean, it's a cozy, comfortable sweater. It doesn't need any help, but I do have, we know I have mustard color jewelry. I mean, hello. Of course I do. But look at this thing. Look how cool. You're saying maybe overkill? Maybe. I don't know. That's kind of close up in the neck, but look at that. It blends in, doesn't it? It really does. See, I got that mustard and everything. Now this is kind of a heavier piece. You hear that? I like wearing it because I can hear myself walking. I know, I'm a child. I get it. It's like big costume jewelry. I love the big costume jewelry. I mean, that is just, look at that. See, that's fantastic. Put that on with that brown sweater. I mean, that right there is perfect. And then I do have another one that has more yellow than the mustard. And this is another favorite of mine. Of my, just simple, right? Just simple. There you go. Put that with there. And then the chain would blend in more. See, look. See, that works, doesn't it? I can church my stuff up even more. I mean, that's pretty cool. But there we have it. So I have some fun stuff that I can use for that and just make it even more fun, right? So got something done. I'm thrilled. I am absolutely thrilled. Beyond the fact of getting a vintage project that has been in the works for a good 6 years. And that's kind of an exaggeration. Has it been 6 years? Yes. Yes. Have I been working on it for 6 years? No, not at all. But it stalled for probably because I did the waist shaping like that. I'm like, oh yeah, that's not so good. And then when I did that and then tried to go out a little bit, when it was laying flat, it had like a weird bump. right here, you know, like that. When you put it on your body, it didn't, it stretched out, but it's just, there were some things that needed to be fixed. And, you know, all these years later, I didn't have a problem fixing it. And one of the other things for me that I'm super excited about getting this done is I have an order of yarn coming from Premier Yarns. And it is, Premier had some Malabrigo yarn for a limited time. I don't know how they ended up getting it. Maybe it's because Malabrigo and Blue Sky did their merger, and maybe those are colors that they don't want anymore. I hope that's not the case, because some of my favorites were in that list, to include the sunshine color, the sunset color that I love. I've got it in multiple different weights of yarn. I love that. So I have no idea how they ended up with it, but they did, and it was very much discounted over what you could get at other places, and it quickly sold out. I think they might have like 1 or 2 colors of a couple of the different weights of yarn. More of the Rasta, which is their super bulky, they had from the sock weight yarn, #1 weight yarn. Their Royal, which is what I ordered, and that is like a sport / DK. This hat is made with the Arroyo, and the colors on this is Secrets is the multicolored, and then the black. Love that. And but this is, they call that the sport weight / DK, depending on what you're making. You know, there you go. But that's what I ordered, was a bunch of this. They had the Diana color, which I think is kind of similar to the Secret. Don't know, haven't gotten it yet. It's, you know, I don't have it in person. And then black, because I want to do something with both colors, like I did with that hat. I just thought that was fantastic. So I did order a bunch of that. It should have gotten here a couple days ago, but it made it to Denver, and Denver's a little odd. So hopefully sometime today. We'll see. And I'm not upset. I mean, I'm tracking it. Hello, yarn's coming. I'm going to be tracking it. Do I need it today? No. Am I counting on it to start another project? Maybe. And the only reason I say maybe on that is I'd like to clear some of the things on my needles off. I know that's crazy talk right there, but I would like to do some of that before starting any more large projects. Now, if I want to start another hat, I'll start a hat in a heartbeat, right? That's a smaller project. Yeah, relative, right? Relative terms, a hat is a smaller project than a shawl that I like the yarn I got for Mother's Day. Oh my gosh, I got 4 full hanks of Madeline Tosh. I am so excited about that, to start a shawl. Well, 4 full hanks of fingering weight yarn, over 1,600 yards of fingering weight yarn. That's a big project. That is a big project. So I want to hold off on that until I get some of the other things done. And you're going to see today, I have been working diligently for that. It's not just lip service is what I'm getting at. I'm really pushing on it. I am pushing to get some stuff done. So the sweater's the only thing that I got finished this week. Everything else are larger projects or what have you. And I'm inching. I'm getting a little bit more. I'm getting a little bit more. But I had like 7 projects I worked on this week, and just inching and inching and inching. And how exciting is that? I'm thrilled. Another one, I had a sweater. Trying to work on my sweaters, and this is 100% because of all of the love that each and every one of you had poured into voting for the Magnificent 7. That was voting for which sweater I'm going to do next, which one am I going to put a little bit more love in. Doesn't mean it's going to get done that week. Hello, there's a lot of work on all these sweaters, but getting a little bit more attention. And there's a lot of grandmothers out there and mommies and everything that are like, oh, you promised a sweater to your granddaughter? That is #1. It is not done. I got the body of it finished and got to try it on her to see what it looks like on her. So her try-on was the first time she knew I was making this for her. She's always, my granddaughter, my oldest granddaughter, she's drawn to this. She always says, Nana, can you make something for me out of this? And I didn't know what to make. And this was Hobby Lobby's Soft and Sleek, their clearance, and I think their clearance is going on right now. I have seen other YouTube content creators showing Hobby Lobby's yarn. They clearance out certain yarn lines at 75% off, and then later in the year they'll also, and I don't know what the timeline is, they'll also clearance out certain dye lots. And this was like a dye lot clearance, or not dye, or just a color clearance. They weren't going to have this one anymore. This is the Neon Stripe, appropriately named, and this is a Soft and Sleek low pill fiber, normally $3.99. When I got it for $1.24 because it was a clearance, and I just had the 4 skeins of yarn. It's a #4 worsted weight yarn. 100% low pilling acrylic, 186 yards. This is a plump worsted, like an Aran. It's very plump. My sweater that I'm working on for her, I'm using size 9s, and I have mixed in for the accent some of the Big Twist value. I know they're leaving town too. I get this. They're gone too. And doing that on the neckline and the hems. And I got a lot done. It's not finished. Look at that. I started the sleeve. Look, see, there's a sleeve. There's a sleeve, right? And check that out. There's a finished sleeve. How cool is that? I am really trying to get this thing done for her. I'll weave in all the ends once I get everything set, and I know that that's going to be it size-wise. It's like a sweater dress on her. She hasn't tried on the sleeves. I did measure that out to the 15 inches is what the sleeve should be for like an 8 to 10-year-old. She's a very petite 9-year-old, which is why this is fitting her like a sweater dress, but she loves it as is, and I think that's great. It will give her plenty of time to wear this. And this is ball number 3 right here. I might be able to get the second sleeve done with this. If not, I do have that 4th sleeve, or that 4th ball of yarn. Plenty of yarn to do this. And loving that with the blue is the collar. She hasn't seen the collar yet. She obviously hasn't seen the sleeve. All she got to see was it was a vest. It was a vest. And she said, keep it the way it is. I gave her the option to rip out the hemline and shrink this up right here to make it to where it would fit her more currently, and she liked it the way it was. I also gave her the option of ripping out the hem and just making it longer to turn it into a true dress, and she's like, no, she wanted it as is. And I'm like, sweet, that's easy. So this is for all the love and all the encouragements, you know, with the heart right here, all the grandmas saying, you need to finish this. Yes, I have put in some serious work on that, and thrilled. Absolutely thrilled. And I know it's from the motivation. You know, people talk about that where they'll watch my channel and I'll do something, you know, like, oh, I don't know, going back and grabbing projects that are 6 and 10 years old and working on them, that's motivational. It works both ways. You guys comment to me too. So it's motivated me to really push forth on that. And I really want to clear out some of those things before I start another sweater. And hey, I got one done, and the other, I got a sleeve done. I got a sleeve done, and it wasn't even voted on. I'm just saying, I got a sleeve done. So really thrilled with that type of progress. Oh my gosh, that is so cool. Do you want to see the socks? I'm still working on my socks. For everyone that's new here, I try to do at least 10 pair of socks a year. Last year, my 10th pair was done the 1st of this year, right? So, and that was for my husband. He claimed that one, so we're good on that. But I really try to get 10 pair done, so then I can give them away Christmas time. And if for my children, their spouses, my husband, his mom, and you know, a few random here and there, right? That just kind of people show up or what have you, and I feel that heartstring calling and everything, and I'll hand out a pair of socks. So I like to have at least 10, so that way the kids have a choice, for one thing, and not just you get this pair, you get this pair. And I just like to have those extra on hand. So I'm working on them, and I've got my oldest pair and my newest pair. This is my oldest pair, 19 years old. 19 years old. Can you imagine? This is 19 years old. This sock has been washed. It's a little bit fuzzier than the one that I am working on, but I am working on it. Let me pull this out. Don't want to lose the needles. Okay, do I have all? Yeah. Okay, got needles. Have needles, will travel. All right, I think, let me see how many stitches. 3, 6, 7. All right, I've got one more decrease round, and then I am on the straightaway on this. This is my second sock. Oh my gosh. This marker is where it was located in the bin. And when it was located, it wasn't on needles. I didn't know what size needles I was using, whether it was 0s or 1s or what was I doing? I didn't know. I did try putting on the 0s, and it wasn't quite right. I think it was the 1. Yeah, these are 1s right now. So I did put some on, made about that much progress, went, that's not the right size, pulled that out, put these on, and working on it. But I was right here when I grabbed these from the bin, and look at that. That is spectacular. So working on it, and if you look at it, I am got those right about there. If it's flat, I'm right about here. So I've got from here down. That's it. That is it. And then that one will be done. And 19 years in the making. I loved this, and I don't know why I ended up stopping, and I took the needles out. I know back then I didn't have all the tools that I have now, definitely, so probably needed them for something else. Didn't have the heart to rip it out, thought it was beautiful, didn't think that I would ever come back to them. And this is, I've been asked this multiple times, is this my pair or is this going in the bin? Probably yes to both. I'm going to put it in the Christmas bin. It does count as the 10 pair, but who says Nana doesn't get a pair of socks? I mean, I'm the one making them, and most years I don't get one. They're there. I could get them, but in most years I don't, because I'd rather just give them to the kids. You know, it's kind of like the cobbler who has no shoes. That's it right there. And they'll go in the bin, but they're going to be mine, right? Because they have to be. I mean, I started 19 years ago, right? My kids were little, right? That's, there you go. So thrilled with that type of progress and just clearing out the clutter. Oh my gosh. Should clean my room while I got this attitude, but that's not happening right now. But I am clearing out that clutter. So even if it's just some of the old projects that need a little bit of love. And then the Fairy Maiden socks. Oh my gosh. Here's this one. I did finish a sock. Yay. So I got this one completely finished, and I did put some more love into that. And I generally show these more on the Thursdays to the toes. If I have projects, if I have something that's, you know, I've done on my socks, because let's face it, I haven't always done things on the socks, so I'll do something else on Thursdays because that's just life. But love this pattern. And it was pointed out to me that when you look at that a little closer, it looks like owls. I did not realize that when I picked the pattern. I think it's absolutely adorable. And that is an exciting pattern. And let me find it on here. Let me see. And the reason I say that that's an exciting one is it's one of those that you have 3 rounds of pattern and then 5 plain rows, you know, to each one of those little, see, here's the one on the page. But each pattern repeat is 8 rounds. 3 of them are patterns and 5 is just plain stockinette. So once you get those 3 patterns, like, oh yeah, let me whip through these stockinette. And then you've got that much. You literally, you know, there you have that much going on. That's exciting. I think I counted from here, from the top one all the way to the toe before doing the toe decreases. There's 15 repeats. And it's just kind of exciting because it's like little bits, little nuggets. Like certain types of yarn, you're excited to get to that next color, that next stripe, that next repeat, whatever it is. This is a solid yarn, and by all standards and measures, you know, just a plain colored yarn would be boring to work with. I mean, it's not boring, but you know, yeah, I think you get what I'm talking about. And with this, with that design, it's just like, oh, I'm already done with another repeat. Wow. And then you can see that it's from there to there is how much that is. And I'm like, oh, okay, I already did that much, and it's visible. It's a psychological thing. It's a mental thing, but it's very, very exciting and motivational. This was fast. I started this pair of socks on the 6th of May. So it's coming along quite nicely, and thrilled with that. Oh my gosh, I am so thrilled with that. So that is called the Fairy Maiden by This Handmade Life, and it is free on Ravelry. The other one is the my vintage pair is Pomontimus by Cookie A, and that is the picture right there, and that is linked on Ravelry. It'll take you out to the nitty.com site, and that is also a free pattern. And let's see, does she have, yep, that one's free, completely free. I know she also does the monkey socks. No, they don't have monkeys on them. That's just the name of it. And she has that on Ravelry where you can both pay for it or link out to the nitty.com site and get it for free. The paid for pattern has expanded sizes to it, and like thousands of people have done that one. This particular one in Ravelry, there's 5,195 projects, and this was put out in winter of 2005. I printed my pattern because I was making it in 2006. Yeah, that's what I mean. Crazy talk. Absolutely crazy talk. But thrilled to get some of these things taken care of. And that, yeah, like I said, with the 19 years old, it's got to be mine. It just does. I have to keep it. Oh, the yarn on this is opal yarn, sock yarn, just a solid opal sock yarn. This one, I think, is Lorna's Laces. I don't remember. I'm not positive because that's a lot of years. So that's that. Let's see. Okay, let me move this out of the way. I have blankets. Do you want to see the blankets of the shawl? Okay, I'll show the blankets, and I get some serious work on the shawl because I want to get to my Mother's Day yarn, and I have self-imposed rules. And my self-imposed rules is I have to get a little bit more done on some of my projects, i.e. get something done, get something off the needles and reclaim your needles, right? Get something finished. That's what I mean by that. This is a stunning little stroller blanket for grandson number 6, Noah. Look at that. Oh my gosh. So this is just a beautiful 3D knitted blanket, and it's supposed to be 18 inches by 22 inches to be the stroller size. The pattern is a free pattern. You can link out to the ladies' webpage and get the free pattern with all the ads in it, or you can buy the paid for pattern without ads on Ravelry. And she has all the different sizes that a blanket should be and what it's called. That's why I'm making the stroller blanket. And I got this yarn. This is Broco Comfort Chunky, and I got it in my Aberdeen wool mystery bag. And I don't generally buy chunky yarns, but I really wanted to use, I mean, that's not to say I won't use some, but I don't generally, that's not my preferred, but it's so pretty. It's such a classic, and I love that this is completely reversible. It's a throwback to my childhood of Q*bert video game. You know, one of the first video games. You know, the first ones that kids got hooked on anyway. And I'm loving it. And it's halfway. It is halfway done. I did the measurements. It's about 11 inches. It's 18 inches by 11 right now. So it is halfway there. And that's progress. That is progress. How exciting. Just moving along with those things. So I have the knit blanket for him, and I have the crocheted one, and they are so opposite. They are both very textured. This is the cream, classic, stately, you know, just white, what have you. And then my crochet one. Oh my gosh, it is stunning. My world. I think it's absolutely stunning. I'm working with it with a size D as in Delta crochet hook. Susan Bates, my favorite brand. That's a 3.25 millimeter crochet hook. We all have our favorites, don't we? The different tools that we use that work the best for us. That's mine. And I am working with the Art Yarn Cake. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? It has gotten smaller. Oh my gosh. I am now fully into the blue. Earlier in the week or late last week, I still had some of the green that you could see through there. I had to do another round. I had to. I mean, I wanted to get to that blue color. Let's see. So here it is. Look at that. You can see that final, that round. That's not the final round, but oh my gosh, this is stunning. And my husband's the one that said, start from the outside with the yellow and finish it off with that dark, dark blue. It is such a dark navy. When you first pull it out, it looks like it's black. It's not. And he said, if you start from that, it's going to look like a black hole. I'm like, oh, I don't want that. I don't want the baby to be wrapped up in a black hole. I would prefer the baby to be wrapped in sunshine. And that's what this is to me. And it's cute. The pattern has 2 rounds in the pattern repeat that have one more stitch on one corner than they do on the other. So it kind of has a little bit of an off-kilter look to me anyway. I think you can block it out if you really wanted to, but I don't. Or if it bothered you where you have that extra stitch, once you've done it, you realize, oh, I'm going to put the extra stitch on the right corner this side this time and the left corner the next time. You know, you could do that if you want to. I like the off-kilter. Me, I think I would prefer to block it more of an off-kilter, more to exaggerate that as opposed to straightening it out. But that's just me. I'm a little quirky. Loving this. Loving this. This is... it is wound together. It's not like the 4 little strands that are like sewing thread put together that are not wound. So it is wound together, but it is also similar, and you still have, if you pull that apart, like 4 little threads. And as you continue, right? See, so now I'm in this blue, and you can see in here as it gets, you get the lighter blue as you get into that darker, darker all the way to the center. Oh my gosh, it's so exciting. It's so exciting. And I keep pulling down one of these just to show you how much has been used, because these were the same size. And you can definitely tell I have used quite a bit. And this is Yarn Arts also. And the Yarn Arts is 1,093 yards for this. And if you are interested in these, you can get it. I bought this one a while back on Etsy. I'll go on Etsy, search the yarn arts and the cakes, and then there's different sellers, and they're from Turkey. The shipping's a little bit higher, kind of like on Ice Yarns, and I mathed it out, and it was a great deal for me, so I bought like 10, 12 at the time, because they said, I think it was buy 10, get 2 free, and then they had 50% off on top of it. The yarn cakes were super inexpensive, but then when you added the shipping, it made it still a lot better than going to Hobby, a lot better than the other places. Another option, if they're in stock and they go in and out, is going to Hirschner's. Hirschner's has what they call their cotton cake mill ends, and it's those, you don't know what color you're going to get, but you're going to end up getting the yarn arts cakes, or like the hobby cakes. I know Erin from Crafting Kitty, last time when she opened hers, I looked up the colors. She straight up got some hobby cakes that are marked at something like $30 each. You know, it just depends on where you want to get them, what you want to buy if you're interested in them. I'm not telling you should buy anything one way or the other, but if you do decide to, get the best price you can, right? Doesn't mean you're going to save money. What that means is you're just going to buy 2 instead of 1. I know how that works. All right, so it is right here. Let's see if they are in. Right now, they are not in stock, but it keeps going back and forth. That's what it looks like on the Hobby website, or the Hirschner's website. And you can see you'd get 2 of them for $14.99. And if you're purchasing from them on anything anyway, always go check, right? Just go check to see. Like I said, if you're curious to see how they work up and if you would like them, get it at the best price possible. That's my way of looking at it. I have knit with these on up to size 6 knitting needles. I have made dresses for the girls with them. I've made big shawls with them, large circular blanket for my grandson with one of them, because they got the vivid neon colors too. Lovely. It works up amazingly. So having a lot of fun with those. You've got cotton acrylic, all cotton, and then the cotton with the sparkles, like those up there have sparkles. Lots and lots of fun. Now, the other one that I want to show you, so excited. I have been working so diligently on this. This is my Starry Night shawl. This is the, oh, I'm going to grab the other color. Okay, so this is the Starry Night shawl. You guys voted whether I was going to use this gorgeous color, this is the corn snake, or my original color that I was planning on, and that is the Starry Night, and we all know what Starry Night looks like. More votes got to the Starry Night, which was funny because the comments under the video, it was leaning here. And then I put a poll out, and it was hands down Starry Night, 2-1 Starry Night. And at that point, I was emotionally invested in this one because, you know, I can be swayed too. And you guys convinced me. You did. Like, it takes a lot of convincing one way or the other when it's yarn. Anyway, you convinced me this was the better choice. So I was like, I'm going to do it. This is it. And then I put that poll out, and it was 2-1 Starry Night. My husband was like, you can't do it. Nope, you can't. You put a poll out and they voted 2-1. You got to stick with it. I'm like, I don't have rules. Yes, you do. So he's adorable. He's absolutely adorable. And the shawl is stunning. I was pushing so hard to get it finished. It's not, but it's close because I want to start my Mother's Day shawl. And I have self-imposed rules. And my self-imposed rule says, don't start it yet. All right, where's my ball of yarn? Okay, here is, I have it pinned, sort of. Here's what I have left. That is what I have left from here, right? Right? So there we go. I have worked a lot. I tried, didn't quite get there. I did some modifications. Oh my gosh. Let me show you what it's supposed to look like. Unbury my iPad again. This is the Pleiades shawl, if I said it right. Some people said I said it right. I don't know if that was the way I said it or what have you. And this is by Beth King. This is a paid for pattern. It says it takes 1 full hank of fingering weight yarn. I've made it before and I ran out of yarn. And there's a lot of comments underneath. And I don't know what color I made it with. I don't remember the yarn. I don't know where it's at, but that's a lot of years ago. And there's a lot of comments from people who've made it that they also ran out of yarn. So, that, you know, there you go. But it is just so pretty. It's got some texture, it's got some lace, and then you end with this, just this 2x2 ribbing. So I can make that ribbing as long as I need to, you know, until I run out of yarn. Yeah, so I'm going to use all of that to get, because that's what I wanted. I didn't want to do a pattern and, you know, you can see this was like this. It had all the beautiful golds in there. I didn't want to do a pattern that just got to there, right? Like that on the blue, and then going, I'm done. But I want all the edge. I want all the stars. I want the night sky. I want all of it. So that's why that pattern's perfect, because it does that. And I have a bunch of it. Look at that. Like, oh my gosh. So I pinned out some of it just to kind of see, because we want to see what it looks like. This is not very, like, I'm trying. Ta-da! I have something. You're like, that's not a good look. I know, but I'm trying. All right, so I'm going to turn this around and try not to stab myself with these pointy things. Oh gosh. Oh yeah. Look at that. Look. What I did differently, because I wasn't going to leave it the same. The pattern just had this one line of the lace for the border. I had this lace yarn. This is the sunset color, sunshine, sunset. I've got it in multiple weights. It's Malabrigo, and this is lace. This is an actual lace yarn right here, and I did it ×2. So I doubled the lace yarn, and I used all but that little bit for the entire thing of lace yarn. How cool is that? So used all that, made this, because I wanted it to be a wider shawl, because this is like an 8.5 inch wide scarf. It's not a shawl, it's a scarf. I wanted this to be bigger. And I wanted that curve, that crescent. So I did add this extra one here, which is good, and then put in the Starry Night. And when I first started it, I was concerned about that white in there for the stars part. I'm like, I don't know if that's going to mesh with here. And I liked it. And then I got a little farther, and then I'm like, I don't know how much this matches, but I'm too far gone. And I will finish that off. But look at that. Isn't that cool? Oh my gosh. That is so, and you can see it's definitely a crescent, and I am in this ribbing right now. Definitely into the ribbing. So that, oh my gosh, that is so cool. And look at that one. Careful of the wire. Careful, don't poke, you'll poke your eye out. Let me set that down. Try not to poke my eye out. And look at this. It's on the, obviously still on the needles. And right now I've got like 575 stitches, something like that. So each row takes some time. What I did, because it looked like I had a lot of yarn and that ribbing was going to be pretty wide, and I didn't like, after getting it done, how kind of floppy the lace was seeming like it was going to be. I mean, obviously I hadn't blocked it, and I haven't cut any of the ends. That's why I've got this big bob of yarn. Haven't cut anything yet. Everything's still attached, right? Nothing's been cut. Well, look at this. Do you see that? You see what I did? I cord edging along the top. That, to me, brings it in to where it's matching with the bottom a little bit more, because I put that at the top. Oh my gosh. And here, I'd finished the I-cord here. That's what my string is right there. And then started doing that ribbing and everything again. Loving this. So that was my addition. So I do have some modifications. I can't really show it to you the best because, I don't want to stab anything like me. But here, look at that. See what I mean? I've got that color at the top. It's going to blend in and just bring it into a more, like it's supposed to be there. There, that's a nice way to put it. But what do you think? Is that not pretty? And it will be finished off with this right here. So we will have some darker along the edge. I think it's going to be great. That is stunning. I think if this was a darker color matching this, I probably would have liked it better. It's not. That's fine. I think this goes better with the lighter right here, and maybe clashes a little bit here. But at this point, I'm going to finish it, and I'm going to wear it, and it's going to be gorgeous. That's my story. This will definitely need to be blocked. Right now, as we can see, I've got it on the dangerous blocking wires in the moment, just so you can see what it looks like. I wanted to see what it looked like too, because I hadn't seen it either. I just have this, and when I hold it up, it's like this end is the end that I'm holding up, just because it's still on the needles. And this is the end that will be up around your neck as you wear it, right? Oh, that's gorgeous. That is stunning. That looks really nice with the hair and everything. Yeah, that's going to be beautiful. Really happy with the I-cord. That was kind of like a aha moment to go ahead and do that, to blend that in and give it a little bit more structure on the edge. I'm thrilled. Absolutely thrilled with that. That is what I have done for here. So then once I get done with this, then I can cast on, wind up, and work on casting on with my Madeline Tosh yarn. And it's cute. I love this. Sandy, one of the commenters, had just commented like, hey, did you notice these colors are very similar to your boho sweater? No, I hadn't. And my husband laughed. He's like, well, of course it is, because that's your palette. He's laughing at me. I mean, we did discover that it's very similar to this not handmade shawl, but this purchased shawl that I got, right? You know, with the stunning colors, especially with the red, the blue, and the gold. Definitely. I mean, the purple's in there too, but those three are definitely in here. And I was just cracking up because don't we always do that? We gravitate towards our stuff. You would think more yarn in my yarn room would match that being the case, but it doesn't. It's like the Fighting Irish in here. It does not match at all. Different weights, different fiber contents, definitely different colors. And another thing my husband just noticed recently, he's like, you're kind of going more towards solids than the variegateds lately. And in a way, he's right. And the reason is there's different patterns that I want to make. Like with this, oh, could I make it with one of the crazy variegateds? Of course I could. You can do anything you want. Are you going to see the pattern as much? No, not at all. But you can do it. And there's some patterns that I'm wanting to do that are more concentrating on the design and the texture. And you're not going to see that with the heavy variegateds. So he is right. I have been more focused on that. And then this specific for Mother's Day, there's the shawl that I would love to make. And it's a big project. It is straight up a very, very large project. Let me go ahead and pull that one up since I'm talking about it. Only Yarn in the Building. This is by Lyrical Knits, and I've actually have quite a few of her patterns, which is interesting. I don't do mystery knit-alongs while they're mysteries, because it's an investment in time, energy, funds, you know, the whole 9 yards. And some of the mystery things I think are stunning, and others I think are stunning I like to look at, but I don't actually want to make. And this is one, when I saw it, I'm like, I want to make this. This is called Only Yarn in the Building. It's a mystery knit-along. And here's the pattern right here. Lots of ends that need to be woven in on that thing. Just, yeah, can't be afraid of weaving in ends. That is stunning, absolutely gorgeous. And it just caught me. It absolutely caught me. And that's what I want to make. And the pattern states you need 4 full hanks of yarn, 400 yards. Well, and I've got 420 each of those, so I've got plenty. But you're using like all of it. You really are. So that's a big project. I want to clear some of the things off my needles. When the Malabrigo yarn comes in, I'd love to start a sweater with that, but I'd like to clear some sweaters. I got one done, and my granddaughter's sweater is really, I could put a move in on that one. That's exciting. The shawls, I want to get some stuff taken care of. And getting this one down to, where's the other ball of yarn at? Getting this down to just this much, that's exciting. But with fingering weight yarn, and if you're a knitter, you know that's not an hour. Well, maybe with you it's an hour. With me, that's more than an hour. That's some time. It doesn't look like much. It takes a bit. It just does. But it's in knit 2, purl 2, knit 2, purl 2, right? So it's very, very easy. It's going to be a while. So I'd like to clear some things first. I'm not the only one who has that goal of clearing things. Am I so naive as to say I'm going to finish everything and clear it all before starting things new? No. But I can tell you, I didn't start a single thing last week. Not a single thing, which is good because I got a lot working on. But I inched up on a lot. And that to me is extremely exciting, very motivational. You have no idea how motivational getting that brown sweater done was for me. And you guys pushed for me to work on my granddaughter's sweater and get that sleeve done. I didn't think that I was going to get so much done. I really didn't. Thank you everybody for your encouragement, your love, and your support. And I know she definitely thanks you, because now that she knows it's a thing, she wants it. With that, I'm going to go ahead and let you guys go. You guys have a great day, night, evening, whatever it happens to be. And I will talk to you again later. Bye-bye.